Hello friends, welcome to Audiobook Daily. Today we'll talk about The Art of Impossible by Steven Kotler. The rejection email arrived at 6 a.m. Thank you for your interest, but we have decided to move forward with another candidate. Daniel stared at the screen without blinking. It was the 87th rejection letter in 8 months. 8 months ago, he was confident. He had a degree, some work experience, and a clear expectation of how his life would unfold. Then the world changed. Companies started freezing hiring. Businesses reduced their workforce. Thousands of skilled professionals were competing for fewer opportunities. Every job opening received hundreds of applications. The global crisis had turned the career path Daniel imagined into a road filled with uncertainty. At first, he blamed the situation. The economy is bad. There are no opportunities. Maybe I was unlucky. And honestly, those things were partly true. But every night, when the noise of the world became quiet, another question appeared in his mind. Even if the world changes tomorrow, am I truly ready for the opportunities one want? That question bothered him. Because deep inside, Daniel knew something was missing. He was searching for a job. But he had stopped searching for himself. His days became a painful routine. Wake up, check job portals, send applications, receive rejection, lose motivation, repeat. The more he chased opportunities, the more exhausted he became. One evening, while sitting alone in his room, Daniel watched an interview about people who achieved extraordinary things during difficult times. One idea stayed with him. The impossible becomes possible when you understand what truly motivates you. For the first time in months, Daniel stopped asking, "Why is life against me?" and started asking, "What can I build within myself that no crisis can take away?" The next morning, he took a notebook and wrote 3 questions. What am I naturally curious about? What problems do I enjoy solving? What kind of person do I want to become? The answers did not appear immediately, but he kept exploring. He realized that throughout his career, he had only focused on getting a salary. He had never deeply developed his strengths. He enjoyed analyzing problems. He loved learning new technology. He felt energized when he helped teams improve processes. For the first time, Daniel discovered something important. His purpose was not just finding a job. His purpose was becoming someone valuable. That changed his entire approach. Instead of spending 8 hours desperately applying for random positions, he created a new mission: learn, improve, master. Every morning, Daniel studied new skills related to his field. He practiced data analysis. He improved his communication. He learned industry tools. He worked on real projects to build experience. But something surprising happened. Learning stopped feeling like a burden. It became exciting. Hours passed without him noticing. He entered a state where his focus became deeper, his thinking became clearer, and his creativity improved. He had discovered something powerful: flow. The moments when he was completely absorbed in meaningful work became the happiest moments of his day. The unemployment period that once felt like a punishment slowly became a period of transformation. But the journey was not easy. Some days, doubt returned. Maybe I'm wasting my time. Maybe companies don't care. Maybe I should give up. But Daniel learned not to depend on motivation alone. He created small goals. 1 skill improvement every week. 1 project every month. 1 meaningful conversation every day. He stopped measuring success by immediate results. He measured it by progress. Slowly, his confidence returned. Not because someone gave him encouragement, because he had evidence that he was growing. After 6 months of consistent learning, Daniel applied for a position at a company that matched his new skills. During the interview, the hiring manager asked, "Daniel, your background is interesting. What did you do during this difficult period when many people stopped developing themselves?" Daniel smiled. "I used that time to understand what I could become." He explained the projects he built, the skills he developed, and the problems he wanted to solve. The interviewer noticed something different. Daniel was not just looking for a job. He was bringing value. 2 days later, the phone rang. "We would like to offer you the position." Daniel closed his eyes. For a moment, he remembered the person he was 8 months earlier. A person waiting for an opportunity. Now he was different. He had created himself before creating his future. Months later, sitting at his new workplace, Daniel reflected on his journey. He realized the hardest part was never the job search. The hardest part was believing that he still had the power to grow during difficult times. The crisis had taken away his old plans. But it had given him something more valuable. Awareness, discipline, purpose, and the ability to focus on what truly mattered. Daniel finally understood that extraordinary achievements do not begin with extraordinary circumstances. They begin with ordinary people who discover a reason strong enough to keep moving forward. The impossible is rarely achieved by waiting for the perfect moment. It is achieved by learning, improving, and becoming the person capable of creating that moment. Because when purpose becomes clear, challenges become opportunities. When passion meets discipline, progress becomes inevitable. And when a person learns to focus deeply on meaningful work, even the impossible starts to feel possible. Years later, Daniel understood that the crisis was not the end of his journey, it was the beginning of his transformation. Like Steven Kotler explains in The Art of Impossible, success comes from finding purpose, building intrinsic motivation, developing mastery, and focusing deeply on meaningful work. Daniel didn't succeed because the world became easier. He succeeded because he became better. He turned rejection into growth, uncertainty into opportunity, and challenges into the path toward his impossible goal. Thank you for listening. If you like the audio, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you in next Audiobook Daily.